Hi, my name is Julie Shane, and this is going to be a short, about 10-minute yoga practice in the Yin style. And so this practice is designed to work more of not your muscles and more of the connective tissue around the muscles, so it can be really therapeutic. In this 10-minute practice, we're really going to do about 3 poses, so we'll be holding them for a longer amount of time. And this practice is designed specifically, the one we'll be practicing today, to help you with lower back and specifically sacrum issues. So I injured my SI joint several years ago, probably a combination of a few different things, and one of them being childbirth, and then also just some past injuries that never really recovered completely. So I have a lot of pain in kind of the sacral area and some imbalances there too. So I've been doing this 10-minute practice every day, or almost every day, for the last month or so, and it's really helping, and the benefit is almost immediate. So it is what I'll be showing you today. I'll be moving all the way through some of the movements, maybe a little bit more than some of you can, which is fine. You have to be really careful when you're working specifically with the lower back, because we have so much mobility in that area that it's easy to push into a place that you shouldn't. So if you have never done a practice like this before, really listen to what your body is saying, and because we'll be holding it longer, it's not okay to push and then expect to get out right away. So you need to be in a space that feels like you can sustain it. So we'll begin. I don't have a yoga mat. I'd like to do my Yin more on a yoga blanket, but you of course can do it on a mat. You just want something that's soft. We'll be lying down and on the floor the whole time. You don't really need any props. You might want to have a pillow or a bolster nearby, like especially if what I'm doing here, just kneeling, kind of sending off triggers like, oh, that's not going to be for me today. You can kind of boost yourself up as much as you need to so your knees are happy. So we're going to begin prepping for our first pose here. So we're going to come into saddle pose, which is by far the best pose that you can do to help with recovering and restoring movement in the sacral area. So you're going to sit on your heels. My big toes are touching, and I'm sitting on my heels, and then I'm letting my knees come apart pretty wide. And so if this is comfortable, great. If it isn't, then you could put a pillow underneath you so you're sitting up a little bit so you have a little less compression in the knees. And we're just going to start here, closing the eyes. You can let the hands rest on your thighs. And just take a few moments to settle in and to feel your body and how it's feeling today. And just doing that without any judgment or any preconceived ideas of what this should be. Begin to notice your breath just moving through you. Think of it like the ebb and flow of the ocean. It's not perfect. The timing isn't always perfect. The wave comes in when it comes in, and it goes out when it needs to go out. And you are just on the beach watching. See if there are any areas in the body already that you can relax. So the thighs might be feeling like they need to protect something here. So try to relax the muscles in the thighs. Might try to work the shoulders away from the ears a little more. Relax the muscles in the face. And then once you feel like you've kind of settled into this slow, sweet practice, we can begin to move into our first pose, saddle pose. So for some of us, that might be move the hands back, lean back slightly, roll the shoulders back, and just stay right here. This can be really good work. I suggest that you stay here, even if you feel like you can go further, just for a few breaths to let your body adjust. Check in and make sure all of the muscles are relaxing so that we can get into the joints and the connective tissue a little better. And then perhaps you'll feel okay to move down to the forearms. You can let the head go back or keep it up. Really whatever feels the best for you today. Again, pause before going anywhere else. Just check in and make sure muscles are relaxing and that you feel comfortable. And if and only if you feel completely, or not completely, but you feel at ease, then maybe you can work on coming all the way down. Arms can rest where it feels comfortable. You're sending your thoughts to any areas of your body that are asking for attention. So they shouldn't be yelling or screaming. But it's most likely noticeable what is happening. You're probably feeling an intense stretch in the thighs or in the ankles. And then, of course, some awareness in your low back. Whenever you are experiencing, just welcome it in. You telling your mind that it's okay is the best thing you can do here. So your brain will freak out on its own if you don't tell it it's okay. So you can even, as obviously as saying, it is okay for my thighs to stretch. It is okay to feel this in my ankles. Can help your brain to say, okay, if you've got this, I can back off. And it is perfectly fine. Actually, it's recommended to do this practice, a yin practice, without warming up, because it doesn't need to be something that you do at the end of a long practice. It would actually be better to do it before. We want the muscles to be cold and the body to be cold. You're going to stay another minute or so in this pose unless your intuition is telling you that you should come out of the pose if legs or something are starting to fall asleep and tingle, or if you are just starting to feel like it is time. The best way to come out of this pose, especially if you're all the way down on your back, is to just release the legs one at a time. But see if you can stay in it for a few more breaths. About 5 or 10 slow, deep breaths. Training your mind to react to a challenge in a mindful way, in a slow and steady and thoughtful way. Making your way out of the pose, if you haven't already, very slowly, one leg at a time, coming down onto your back, lying on your back. And this is one of the most important parts of Yin Yoga. It's the rebound moment. So you can keep the knees bent, or if it's okay to straighten the legs like you would for Shavasana or corpse pose, you can, and then just be still and notice the effects that that pose has had on your body, how you're feeling mentally and physically. Again, looking at all of these things like you would just watching the ocean, the texture and the sound and the movement of the waves. There's no critique, there's no right or wrong. And when you're ready, start to draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then separate the knees towards your armpits. Reach in between the knees and grab onto the outer edges of the feet. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. So you might look at this pose and think happy baby, which it does look like that. Only in yin, we'll hold it a little longer, and you're not pulling or compressing or trying to do anything. You're just simply getting your body in the shape and then releasing. So there shouldn't really be very much effort, if any, in this pose. Returning to that position of an observer. Just noticing and collecting the data. Noticing how your body is responding to this pose. Noticing new sensations for today. Maybe you're finding something you expected to find, and that is fine too. Collect that as well. Make sure the face is relaxed, breath is easy. About 10 more breaths here. Let your back body feel really heavy. Last few breaths. And slowly release the feet down. Rest with your knees bent this time. Feet flat, hands by your sides. A moment of rebound, a moment of appreciating and noticing the effects, feeling the energy moving through the body. And then when you're ready, go ahead and start to bring yourself up to sit. Last pose we'll do here. So you're going to take the feet about hip width, a little wider. So legs apart, a comfortable amount. And then unlike traditional yoga where we talk about flexing the feet and getting the toes up towards the ceiling, forget that. And just let the feet kind of just hang. So this is caterpillar pose. So you're going to actually start to round the back, chin in towards the chest. And you're going to, like a little caterpillar would, start to walk your way forward. So we're not trying to move the heart forward. We're actually doing the exact opposite. So we're focusing more on the back and the muscles around the back and the tissue around the back and the joints in the back than we are the legs, although you might be feeling a moderate stretch in the hamstrings. So if you're down low enough to let your head rest in your hands, that's nice, just to support the neck. You could always, if you happen to have a pillow or something nearby, prop your elbows up there. But keeping the chin in, back rounded, feet relaxed, legs relaxed. as few muscles engaged as possible. Just noticing the breath and how it moves through the body in this posture. Noticing the changes of the energy, the shift of the mind. Appreciating going slow, appreciating perhaps an unusual practice for yourself today. Maybe allow yourself to go a little deeper if that is opened up to you. And then with the last minute or so here in this pose, play with letting the chin really exaggerating coming to the chest. See how you feel the back just in a totally different way by doing that. As you inhale, start to bring yourself up nice and slow. Head comes up last. Take your hands by your sides underneath the shoulders. Keep the legs still. And just let this be your moment of rebound. You can keep the legs out straight in front of you, or if it's comfortable to draw them in. We'll close class here, or this short practice here. It's just a very brief little meditation and affirmation. So go ahead and bring your hands together at your heart. Bow the head slightly if that feels right. Take a few more moments to notice the breath. To notice the sounds around you. To notice the temperature of your body. To notice all of these things that are so often overlooked because we are moving so quickly. And remind yourself that moving slow is an art and is a gift. So you can say to yourself, either out loud or just to yourself, I am worthy. I deserve this. I am healed. I am healthy. I am whole. And I am loved. Namaste, yogis.